Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, got another knife build. So it's going to be another Bowie. I know I do a lot of Bowie knives, but they're just what I seem to be wanting to do at the minute. If you watch these tutorials, you don't have to make a Bowie, because really the only thing that makes it a Bowie is the shape of the blade. Really, you could shape your blade anyway. I'm just showing you how to do the rest. So this is a £10 bill hook. I think I got from eBay. Maybe less than that. It was the cheapest one I could find. About 3.5mm, 4mm thick, I think. So decently thick, and I think ideal for making your own knives. So that will be what the blade is. Hopefully you can see the basic blade shape there. What it's going to be here. It's going to have a steel D-guard, and hopefully, if it works, one of these bits of antler as a handle. We'll have to see what the tang looks like. These I got £6 for the. No, I think it was £9. It was £6 or £9 for the two. Not sure if you're supposed to get two. I thought I'd buy one. But yeah, quite a good deal, I think, because I've noticed antler can be quite difficult to get, but this is perfect size really. So yeah, antler handle D-guard Bowie. Yeah, and I'll talk about this again in a second just before I go off. By the way, if anyone ever wanted to support me making these projects, you can through a link below now. That it's just as one-off donations, because all of this stuff has to come out of my own pocket, and I don't have I don't get any ad money or anything from YouTube, so all of the money that goes towards these is basically through Patreon, merchandise and donations basically. You know, it's not essential, it's just, you know, the less money coming in, the less projects get done. That's why it's been a bit of a break. But yeah, so that website, Ko-fi, coffee, you essentially buy me a coffee. You can buy me as many coffees as you want, but what really happens is each coffee you buy me gives me £2 straight into my PayPal essentially. So you can buy me one coffee, you can buy me 10 coffees if you want to. Yeah, it's up to you, but the link will be below if you want to. So let's get down to starting this. The first thing I'm going to do is cut this off at the bottom, take this stack leather handle off. If I was you, and I'm going to do this, keep that leather. If that, I'm going to see how good it is, but if that leather is good, that's probably £10 worth of leather there that you could use on another knife project. So yeah, keep this leather for another knife project. So I'm going to cut this off. Actually, I may do it with a hacksaw. Right, let's see the quality of this leather. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know, it doesn't seem great, but let's see. If it's not usable, it doesn't really matter. There you go. Can't really tell the quality of this stuff, but I reckon that's worth keeping, and that could definitely be used. It's definitely not high grade leather, you know, lower than a C grade I'd say, but still I reckon you could keep that and use that another handle. So here's the tang. I'll show you that's the shape of the blade I'm doing. Not sure how well you can see that. The tang looks like this bit's welded on. Looks solid though. So what I'm going to do is thin this up ever so slightly here and here, and maybe make this a little bit smaller so that the antler can fit on, because it might be a little bit too thick, how that is. going to talk with my gas mask on, it saves me taking it off, and I'm going to need to use it again straight away. So that's the basic blade blank done. I need to finish refining it on my little belt sander, and I'm going to make the tang a little bit thinner with the belt sander as well, and then we'll start trying to work on the guard and the handle. I'm going to do the D guard now, so I need to cut a hole just here, so I'll probably just drill and file, big enough for the tang to go through. I'd recommend having a bit of leather on top of this, because this hole will be bigger than this bit here, because this bit's fatter, so you're going to have a gap either side. So if you stretch some leather over, it will cover the gap, so it'll be leather then the guard. So I'll need to drill that and then start bending it. Right, I'm going to try and gradually bend this now. I recommend just try to bend a little bit at a time, so otherwise you can snap it, or you can have too much of a angle on it. This should work. I don't want it too tight, don't want it too long either though. I'll check in a minute, see if it's bending where I want, and if not I'll bend it up a little bit more higher. Try and make sure it's straight. Right, I think that'll do for the top for now. Yeah, that should be about right. So I think what I'll do now, before I bend the other end, I'm going to try to drill out the antler. Right, just need to widen up that top to accept that bit, and that'll go. Not sure which way I want it round, but we'll see. Yeah, that'll go. That will work. It's coming along nicely now, so just try all these bits together. So what I need to do now is work out how much I need to cut off and how well you can see this. So that's where it would be. I need enough to have the metal and a bit of a bit to peen over. That'll still be big enough for my hand. So I'm going to need to cut that off, which will leave the tang sticking out. Then I can carry on bending this around. I'm going to have to try and drill the hole last. I'll check it in a minute, see if it's bending in the right place, and then I can adjust from there. Right, so I've drilled the hole, but the hole is going to be smaller than what this is at the minute. I don't want to peen over something that fat, so I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. So I think what I will do though is just test this all together quickly, remembering that I'd want the want a piece of leather on this as well at some point. Yeah, I think that'll go nicely. The guard, the piece of leather to go on top, and the handle is ready. I've had to glue a piece of leather to the top of mine just because there's a little gap there, and if I start cutting it off it will be basically the handle will be too short, but I can cover that up so you wouldn't see it anyway. That's done. So I think what I'll do now is get this paint off, shine this up as much as possible, and then do the same for the blade. So to get this off, I'll essentially just be brushing nail polish remover on it basically. So this blade has got quite a strange sort of, I don't know if that's the paint still on it or just sort of some kind of staining, but I don't know, I'm going to see if I can blue this one. But yeah, I cannot get that stuff out. So let's see if there's a blue. Right, yeah, that will blue. So that must be like a staining on the actual metal, because otherwise that wouldn't have blued. Right, that does look a lot darker on camera. Doesn't look bad. In fact, if anything, just looks like a quite old rustic knife. I'm nearly ready to peen this over now. Hopefully it works well. I may have to cut a bit off actually saying that, but I forgot that. You want to put a lot of glue in this handle. Get the peen over. Right, I'm going to put the edge on it now. I'll tell you what, I'm really fucking happy with this. It's actually got a really nice rustic look. So there's the peened over pommel. So all I really need to do now is give this an edge, because it's quite, you know, yeah, and then at a later date make a sheath for it. Right, there you go. One rustic, old school Bowie knife. Very old style blade, D-guard and antler handle. Yeah, blued blade. I'm actually really happy with this. It's definitely got a rustic look to it. But yeah, I like the old look to it. Makes it look like it could be an antique. Not that I'm trying to make it look like an antique, but it's just how somebody's work out sometimes. Some you can make look brand new, some seem to want to look old. But yeah, I've seen a picture of a D-guard Bowie that looked very similar to this, so I'm very happy with the outcome. The antler worked really well. D-guard's on there pretty good. The blued finish looks okay. yeah, you know, it looks like it's already been used, if that makes sense. It looks like this has been dug up and cleaned up, which, you know, I don't think is a bad thing. Yeah, well, there you go. So what I'll do before I finish, I will show you some high quality pictures or footage of the knife so you can actually see it properly finished, and at a later date when the leather comes, I will possibly do a video making the sheath. If not, I'll show you the knife in the sheath and then some bottle cutting, whatever. Yeah, so there you go. That's how to make a old school Bowie knife from a bill hook.